Hello, hello Facebook. It is Laurel Huston, creator of body mapping and founder of Reflections Inside and Out, where our company strives to teach people to love who they are inside and out. So thank you so much for joining us. What is body mapping for those of you that are new? Body mapping is a compilation of body language and 20 years of studying people and anatomy and physiology and uh, energy work and all sorts of different modalities that I shoved together into what I call body mapping. So the short version is body mapping is the universe that was left on your body to help you understand who you are and your purpose. Today, oh hey Tasha, today we are going to be talking about the mouth, which because that's the card that I pulled. So a couple weeks ago, I pulled a different card, and that card was, hold on, let me find it. Mouth for intimacy and relationships. And so I do want to differentiate because these are different. And there is another card for teeth. So you're probably sitting here thinking, what can you talk about in this one that you didn't already talk about? Well, okay. Because when we talked about mouth with this card, it was about intimacy and relationships. And we talked a lot about if your lips are dry, then your relationships are drying out. And we talked a lot about your lips are about connection. Well, we talked a little bit about words and messages, and that's what this card is more about. So this card is a reminder that today you need to say what you mean and mean what you say. It's a lot more about the inside of your mouth. So on many videos, I have mentioned that when things are internal, their mindset stuff, they tend to be internal. So inside the mouth, a black head would be internal versus a white head would be external. So lips are more about your external relationships, where your mouth is usually all about mindset. It's about what's going on in your head. It's about that inner mean girl. And I've mentioned your inner mean girl before, and I've actually had some people say, I don't think I have an inner mean girl. And I've said, cool. So I want you to start tracking what's going on in your head. How often are the voices you hear yours versus outside sources? Memories from a mother, statements from a friend, because some of us have been kind to ourselves, but we have also allowed people to get into our head, and that's what's on replay over and over and over and over. So mouths are about messages and words. They are also about intimacy and relationships. But there are times when you need to focus on your relationships, and there are times that you need to focus on your messages. So other parts of this are you speaking your truth and sharing your message? This is something that when people aren't sharing their message, they tend to chew on the inside of their mouth. The other thing that's inside your mouth is your tongue. So your tongue is about connection. It is also about nurturing and nourishing because that's where your taste buds are. So your tongue is part of the arousal process, not just sexual arousal, but being aware of the world around you. And so a lot of times people will, in body language, people will fidget with their tongue, they'll chew on their tongue. Um, they do weird things in their mouth when there's a lot going on in here. So in body language, when you expose your tongue, meaning you lick your lips, or when you're thinking, have you ever seen people do that before? Oh, what is this? Usually when the tongue is exposed in body language, it is a sign that it is a very deep thought, that there's lots of processing, that they're trying to gain a lot of information before they make that decision. So I'm going to give you a weird example, but bear with me for just a second. So other animals, not humans, well, kind of, other animals use their tongue as one of their major receptors. Think about snakes. They actually, in a way, they see with their tongue. So when we are really, really deep thinking, oh, we will engage our tongue. So I know that sounds weird that, your tongue is part of your thinking process, but become aware of how often you use your tongue when you're trying to make decisions. And it is because your tongue has so many sensors on it. It is actually part of the discerning process. Not just your taste buds, because there are different flavors and sensations that we're able to have because of our taste buds. But when things touch the tongue, it actually activates your salivatory glands, which is the beginning of your digestive system. And I don't want to get too into the digestive system because I really try to stay away from organs on Monday mapping. That's more of stuff for the advanced. But your mouth, your digestive system are all about breaking down and understanding information. So this is why when people overthink, they can get canker sores in their mouth because they're just over processing. And physiologically, canker sores are usually because you're too acidic and stomach acid has come up, you're stressed out, and you're rethinking and you're letting things come back up, and then you're trying to reprocess them, and then you put them back down. So your mouth has a lot to do with, am I saying what I mean, and am I meaning what I say? Your mouth is actually a beautiful part of your boundary system. So when people think of boundaries, they usually think of someone's, putting their hands out and saying, don't touch me. And as meaningful as that is, I mean, if someone were walking towards me and all of a sudden I looked up and I went, I wouldn't have to even speak, but I want you to do that really quick and see what all of a sudden happens to your tongue. Because for most of us, the tongue will become very rigid or we'll bite it. So what does this all tie together? Your body language is important, but we need to put importance back onto our words, because anyone who has had a child that would rather grunt or point than speak, you know how infuriating it is when you are saying, just use your words. Okay, but how many adults do we need to look at and say, just use your words? And when people aren't using their words, when they aren't expressing themselves, when they aren't saying what they mean and meaning what they say, this shows up in the health of the mouth. So bad thoughts or decaying thoughts show up in bad breath or tonsil stones, overthinking, overprocessing, canker sores, gums. So teeth are decision making, and gums are, and actually each tooth helps with a different type of decision. But gums are the support system. So if you feel supported in your decision making abilities, you usually will have healthy gums. Now, am I saying that you never have to floss and you can just have a really good support system and all of a sudden all your gum issues will go away? No, but I am saying if you are flossing every single day, you have excellent oral hygiene, and yet you still have problems with your gums, do you have a support system? When you make a decision, do you have someone that says, I support you, I love you? So your tongue, and when we're developing things that develop at the same time, your tongue is attached to your stomach, obviously. So when things are not going right in your stomach, in that part of your digestive system, your tongue is an indicator of that. So when you wake up in the morning, if you have like a lot of white plaque on your tongue versus your tongue is a little bit swollen, your tongue is very visible, and so your stomach is trying to tell you, hey, we didn't like that. This is why for most people, the very first allergic reaction that happens is that their tongue swells. So your tongue is something that's trying to help you be intentional with your decision making. Your tongue is something that's trying to help you be intentional with your boundaries, saying what you mean and meaning what you say. And when those aren't happening, you tend to chew on yourself, which is a form of self-punishment. So you'll bite your cheeks, you'll bite your tongue, things like that. If you are constantly suppressing mean words and angry thoughts and that kind of stuff, you'll tend to have problems with bad breath. But let's think about that for a moment. If you are someone who is really snarky and you have learned, I like people and I would like people to like me, so I'm going to change the way that I speak to others, and I'm going to do it with more kindness and love. While you are moving and transitioning from one behavior to the other, You may have bad breath because you're holding in those angry thoughts and angry words while you process. So, as I have mentioned before, symptoms are not necessarily good or bad or right or wrong, they just are. And when you are having a symptom and you ask your body, what do I need to know from this? What do I need to learn from this? What are you trying to tell me? You having bad breath because all of a sudden all of those angry words that you used to spew at everyone, you're not anymore. That could be why you have bad breath. So then you need a tool or something to help you to overcome holding on to all of that anger and hate, because otherwise it's going to give you another symptom. Anger is one of the worst emotions we can hold on to. So your mouth, honestly, as weird as this sounds, it's about relationships, it's about intimacy, it's about your messages, but your mouth is a huge indicator of what's going on internally. It's a huge indicator of your mindset stuff. Because when we are having a problem controlling our mind, we tend to have a problem controlling our mouth as well. So when people pull this card, and I'm not sure if this is who needs this, but be intentional with your words today. So if you are watching this, I really want to encourage you to start practicing saying what you mean and meaning what you say. So here's an example of that. Someone calls you on the phone and says, hey, I need help with this project for the kids at school. I know you're super busy, but can you help me anyway? And even as you speak, you just feel yourself getting heavy and exhausted. And then you say out loud, sure, no problem. Okay? Did you just say what you meant? Or did every part of you go, no, we don't want to do that? That is what I mean about being intentional with your words. When you say what you mean and mean what you say, you actually have less symptoms that are debilitating or that are like eating away at you. You'll stop biting the insides of your mouth. You'll stop biting your tongue on accident. The cankers will go away. Your gums will heal. But so many of us, this has to do with your gums, if we feel unsupported in our decision making, we will very rarely say what we mean. We will say what we think other people want to hear. And if you are having problems in your mouth, I guarantee you it is not your only symptom. There is something else going on. So the biggest takeaway that I want you to understand today about your mouth is that your mouth is usually a secondary symptom. That it is telling you you're not listening to your inspiration. You're not listening to your heart. You're usually very, very stuck in your head. And I can feel it. I'm going to get backlash on this one, and it's fine. But you need to start saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Now, am I giving you permission to be a jerk to people? No. Am I trying to tell you to start fights? No. What I'm saying is that you, in a kind and respectful way, can start saying what you actually mean. It will improve the health of your mouth. I'm not going to go into teeth because teeth is its own card. But as I said, teeth are about decision making. It's just that every single tooth has its own thing. So I'm not trying to avoid teeth. I just want to get to them when they actually need to be gotten to. Other questions that usually come up with the mouth are actually more to do with the throat. They usually have questions about like tonsillitis or tonsil stones or those kind of things. So when we pull a throat card, I will answer that. The other thing that I wanted to do today, because I'm super excited about this, every single Monday, I probably get 5 to 10 direct messages of people saying, hey, I have this and this and this symptom. Can you tell me what it means? And ladies, I'm not trying to be mean when I say no. That is something that I do for my personal mentoring clients or at my looking glass experiences. For multiple reasons. One being, it really is so much better if I can do that in person. So if you are someone who has ever watched one of these videos and then thought, I want Laurel to do a body map on me. I want her to tell me what my eyes mean. I want her to tell me what my nose means. Well, what about my shoulders? Well, what about this chronic pain that I've had that I've been to dozens of doctors and they can't tell me what it means? Or what if you're thinking, it's not even that I want to know what my body means, it's that I have worked on this specific goal for so long and I just am stuck. then I have an opportunity to share with you. So let me tell you what that would look like, because February 17th through the 21st, so not that far away, February 17th through the 21st in St. George, Utah, so where it's warmer than most of you, I am going to do what is called the Looking Glass Retreat. So let me tell you what this Looking Glass Retreat is all about. The Looking Glass experience is where you actually have 50 minutes where we talk about your features, where we talk about your goals, where we talk about what is blocking you, and I give you specific tools right then and there for you to overcome them, for you to understand them. It is fast-paced, in-depth mentoring. And I only do this a couple times a year. So if you are someone that is saying, I want to be body mapped, this is your opportunity. I chose to do it as a retreat because that means that I can do more than I would normally do. When I do this as a one-day live event, I only do 5 people. Because while one person is on stage, the other 4 people are listening and taking notes, because inevitably you will have a similar issue to the person that is on stage. You will have a similar symptom, or that is a tool that will absolutely work for you as well. So in the retreat, we will have multiple days, which means we will be able to do 15 looking glass experiences instead of only 5. So if you are someone who has ever said, I want to be body mapped, then join us, because this is your opportunity to be body mapped, to watch the other women at the retreat get their mapping done as well, get tailored to you mentoring and massages and the experience of being in a retreat and being in southern Utah and going and connecting with nature down here in Snow Canyon State Park. So it's not just a retreat, oh, I'm going to sit and do nothing. It is your opportunity to be body mapped while being pampered, while making connections, while having in-person experiences. So again, the dates for that are February 17th through the 21st. So you know, all of the women who are in the Year of You journey are already registered for this. So 13 of the 20 spots are already taken, which means there are only 7 spots left for this. So I will put a link in the description so that you guys can look. But you have to at least have your deposit down before January 1st, because this will go fast. I will not hold spots for people. The reason being, every time I do a looking glass experience, it sells out. And I'm doing this looking glass experience as a retreat, and so I can't imagine that it's going to not get sold out. The other question a couple of people have asked is, well, what are you going to do if the world goes crazy again and we have to shut down? Where I am and in my state, the amount of people that I'm allowing at the retreat, I can have at the retreat. So unless they completely go into lockdown, I am not worried about it. And I am highly asking and encouraging, if you are going to come, keep yourself healthy. Make sure you're getting vitamin C, make sure you're getting vitamin D, make sure you are taking proper care of yourself from now until then. Because I want you to come and have these amazing experiences where you can learn to love your body, where you can really increase your intimate relationships, and you can improve your money situation, because those are the 3 things that I always work on. Other bonuses to this, we will be doing breathwork sessions. So we will be doing some live breathwork sessions while we are at the retreat. For those of you who may not necessarily be familiar with breathwork is a beautiful way to help you release a ton of emotions in a very short amount of time. It will be guided. It will be somewhat personalized. But when I'm able to work with such a small group of people, I know that the women that are supposed to be there will be able to. So it's February 17th through the 21st. Registration deposits have to be down by January 1st if you want your spot held. And this is your opportunity to be body mapped. So if that is what you are wanting to do, then join us at that retreat. And if you have other questions about mouths, if it's about lips, I already did a video on that. If it's about mouths, then put them in the comments, and I will try and answer those for you. So I hope that you have a fabulous week this week. I hope your holiday shopping is going well and that you are saying what you mean and meaning what you say today, because today of all days, I'm not sure what it is about it, but today is a day that people need to really be intentional with their words. So, love you. Have a fantastic time. I love you.